and welcome to Book Buzz, brought to you by the Peters Township Public Library. I am Miss Shannon.
And I'm Miss Linda, and we're here to tell you what's going on in February. At least part one of February.
Which February, minus the weather, is usually my favorite month.
Really?
Yes.
Why? Because you like Valentine's.
Well, I do.
Is it the love you thing?
No. Well, my birthday's in February, and so is my husband.
Oh, that's why.
And I love the color scheme of Valentine's Day.
Are we going there?
Minus the fact that I've ordered these new T-shirts, and I got a gray one on accident, and Linda has the pink, and pink is my color. And as soon as she walked in this morning, my blood has been boiling with by remorse all day long. And then you have your Valentine's Day earrings on, which mine are sitting on my nightstand. I had meant to wear. I found them this morning, and I meant to wear them, and that's where they are.
It just didn't go well for you at all.
I do have some accessories to upstage you a little bit. I do have.
Oh, you didn't bring me one?
Nope, I didn't.
Oh. What?
I have my Valentine's Day beads, and I have my Valentine's Day, headband. I would call them ears, but they're not like ears.
Yeah.
They're just hearts.
Well,
and some of this.
Yeah, well, I was going to share it with you, but I'm not sure I want to now because you didn't think of me. Yeah, and so we can be connected.
Yeah, look at that.
Here.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, this is nice.
All right. You know,
I feel
it's
like we're
always
going
going
to
to
an
be.
Elton John concert.
Oh, that's funny.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
All right.
We'd be good at that. All right.
So let's talk about February. Go ahead, Miss Linda.
Well, our winter programs are already well underway, and we'll be going through the month. Yeah. And when? Middle of March?
No. So the way that the calendar worked out is our winter programs will end the last full week of February, which also starts in March. That week kind of is a split. Will be the last week of winter, and then we'll start up mid-March for spring.
Okay, I knew.
So we have several weeks left. So come on in, and this is the fun time to come because we have our Valentine's Day themes going on in all of our storytime programs. Our snowmen are out and having a good time. It's just, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of wintry fun
Groundhogs.
activities. Yep.
Got to talk about him. Yeah, it's always a good
time.
Oh
yeah, absolutely. So still plenty of time to get online, look and see what we are doing, and register for them. But we'll be talking about some of that.
Some of the special things too. First, coming up at the very beginning of the month is our Teen Choice Book Club. Several months ago, I had a whole list of books that the teens had recommended that they wanted to do for book club in the future. So we sent out a Google form, and they all voted. And they decided to read Little Women by Louise May Alcott, which is a classic. And I was surprised that was what they chose because it is an older book, and I didn't realize the popularity was still extremely there. And that was the #1 voted for one. They'll be talking about that on the 3rd, and then later in the month, which we'll talk about, we are going to have a movie marathon of Little Women too. So all kinds of stuff for Little Women coming up in very beginning of February.
I think that's great, and to bring back, I mean, that's a classic.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, bring some of those back where obviously they must not have read it, or if anybody wants to read it again. But you know, I like bringing some of that back.
Yeah.
And then educating our teens.
Yes, for sure.
Some awesome writing across the years.
Yeah.
Okay, so. I'm starting a new book club. I'm going to do it once a quarter. So we're going to do winter session, and then spring. I'll do one in the summer. And it's based on the Who Was series. So it's, how they are. Who was, who is, where is, what is, all of those ises. And the kids.
All those ises.
All those ises. or wases.
Depends if they still is or if they was.
They is or was. I don't know. We'll have to decide. Let's see. Were they or are they? So anyway, I'm excited about it. So the first one we're going to have is on February 10th. It's going to follow immediately after our Pause for Reading, which is a popular program. And then we will settle in from 11:30 to 12. It's just a half hour for 2nd and 3rd graders. This program is just going to be geared for that age group. And so to get ready for it, this was as close to an ape as I could find. So
apes and monkeys are not the same thing. Although, so a monkey has a tail and apes don't. That's how you know the difference. But George doesn't have a tail.
he doesn't have a tail.
So then maybe he is actually
A
an ape.
little ape.
Yep.
Well, we would have to ask Jane Goodall.
Yes.
She will know whether that is an ape or a monkey or whatever it is. Who is Jane Goodall? A little girl whose dream was to live among wild chimps. Let me just say, I don't share that dream. I don't want to live with monkeys. Okay, but I want to learn about them. Okay, I'd rather learn about all of that. A brave young woman who made her dream come true. A world-famous scientist and animal rights champion. So this is what we're going to find out in this book. And what's nice is, I think the kids, if your child is not able to read it, you read it to them. And there are pictures to go along. The font is nice and big, making it easier for them to read. So when you register, everybody that registers will get a copy of this book. And then you have your child read it or read it to them, and then they come to the program on Saturday, February 10th, and we'll discuss it. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, a little boy was in yesterday morning, that's what it was, and I had emailed the mom, not knowing that he had been in, just doing my reminders and everything, and please, he is registered for this program, come and pick up your book. And she replied like right away. It was really sweet. She goes, oh, we were just in there.
Oh, Jesus.
So, but she was coming back for our program last night and said, well, we'll get it then. And so I saw him, the little boy, and gave him his. And he was excited. I mean,
yeah.
I thought this would be a fun one to start with, because who doesn't love animals and doing that.
Oh, yeah,
so
she's
I
popular.
thought, I thought
That's such a good series.
it'd be so interesting.
Kids devour those books.
Yep.
They're
So
really fun. I just read who is Dwayne the Rock Johnson not too long ago. I
Did you?
checked it out to read to Lucas. He was interested, so I read it myself because I do like Dwayne Johnson a lot. And
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, was it? Did you
Yeah.
learn anything
Yeah.
that you didn't know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd recommend adding that to your to-read list.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
All
a
right.
good guy. He's done some cool stuff.
All
All
right.
right. So that's interesting that you just talked about
Uh-oh.
a book that is a biography, and that's kind of the focus on our QED night this month. So we're going to do Xavier Riddle and the Secret Museum, which is a PBS Kids show that's been adapted based upon the Brad Meltzer series, The Ordinary People Change the World, which is a picture book biography series. And so, oh man, he's getting some fights there. Let's see. So this one's about Abraham Lincoln, and look, he got into some trouble there with a buddy in this picture. So we'll have to see what happens. But
Guess he wasn't perfect.
no, he wasn't. Or maybe that was another kid. I don't know. But anyways, so we're going to read I Am Abraham Lincoln and talk about Abraham Lincoln because it will time with Abraham Lincoln's birthday, which is February 12th. And we will hopefully watch the episode that pairs along with this. So all of our
cool.
resources are from QED, which is a lot of fun. So we're going to talk all about Abraham Lincoln for the QED night and timing it right with Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And of course, President's Day, which follows not long after Abraham Lincoln's birthday.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, very fun.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay, well, I'm just bringing up Wildcrats quickly. It is a popular program just because as the winter months are still here and you want to have something different to do with your kids, come in and have lunch. You bring your lunch. We picnic there and the kids watch episodes of Wildcrats that I stream from WQED, and they love it, having a picnic at the library.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that you can do different to get through these months.
Yeah, and that's all
Do
through our
it.
partnership and grant with the WQED as well. So that's
Exactly. So just come in and do it and register online for it, just so we have a head count.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it is Valentine's Day season, so our Tween Made Teen Made will be Valentine's.
Oh, I
they're
forgot
actually
you were doing that.
Yeah, and I forgot to grab a sample because they're really, really cool looking. Although I wouldn't want them to get messed up in the transport.
Yeah.
But they're doing 3D Valentines. So the one actually has almost like a snow globe on the front of it. Another one has like a hot air balloon. Oh, look at that. So there's the samples of what they look like. That is the ones that Miss Beth made. Yep. So that's some of the options that you'll have to create. Make sure you do sign up for that because all of our DIY events do fill up very quickly. They are very popular. So that will be on the 13th. So you'll have them right in time for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And feel free to register for that. And then when you're making them, make a couple extra and send them with love to Miss Shannon and Miss Linda. With extra love.
Yes.
All right. So we did Wildcrats. So we kind of did that. The sensory story time. I think we both can talk about that too.
Yeah, go ahead. You were here for it. So
yeah, I was just thinking.
Cool.
Well, I was just thinking that and thought. I think from what I hear that it went really well and the parents were very happy with it. What the sensory story time is, and we've tried this in the past on our own, where Miss Shannon and I went and studied it and and worked with an organization to help us know how to run a sensory story time. Well, this is done by a woman. Her name is Marianne Faber, and she did the first one in January, so she has one coming up Thursday, February 15th. At 10 a.m. It's for a half hour, so from 10 to 10:30, and it's all sensory, meaning more calm and peaceful and in tune with what a child with possibly, on the spectrum for
or might have issues with
or
any
might
kind
have
of stimulation.
Yeah, with like sound. Sometimes kids just don't like it. That's too loud, or it's too this, and it's too much. And this is sensory because it's toned down. Yep. And she looked like, I kept peeking in there. She got it. She had a full house. Mm-hmm. It was filled. All the parents were there, and again, it just looked like everybody had a great time. Yeah. That it was a very successful program that we are trying, and it's going to go. I think she's doing 2 more months.
Yeah, we have February, March for sure, and then we'll kind of see what happens after that. And I mean, if it's popular, we'd love to continue it. Absolutely. Marianne is actually an occupational therapist, so that's what her background is, and so she's done sensory story times at other libraries, at her workplace, things like that. So it's very cool to partner with someone, a professional that specializes in a particular area.
Absolutely. We try to do what we can for everybody.
Yeah, we'd like to have a very diverse programming.
Yes, very diverse.
For sure. And like I said, so Little Women is our book club this month, but we're also kind of in excitement of that going to do a Little Women marathon. The kids, Peters is closed on Friday the 16th for, I believe, like an in-service day. So from 12 to 3, we're going to show both the 90s version of Little Women with Winona Ryder, and then there was one that was just released several years ago, I think maybe 21, possibly 22. So we're going to show both of those, and you can kind of compare and contrast and see which version you like better.
I love it.
There's been other adaptations too. Those are the 2 more popular, more recent ones. There was ones like years and years ago as well. So
that would be
it's been around for a while.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
For sure.
Yep, especially after
having read it.
Mm-hmm. I always like that. Okay, so that brings up a question. Do you like to read a book before you see the movie, or do you like to see the movie and then read the book?
I like to read first. However, I cannot, if the movie adaptation has changed drastically from the book, it's better for me to have a gap in time between reading and then seeing.
Okay.
Or else then I don't get upset about anything.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes you just want to go.
And sometimes they totally change the story altogether.
Right.
That's
irritating.
But sometimes if it's just like a detail here and there, like for instance, a good example was I did over the holidays, I saw the this Ballad of Songbirds and Saints, the most recent Hunger Games story. And I had read that book when it was released, so it's been a couple of years. So I really enjoyed the movie, but I know fans that had done them closer or had read the book multiple times and they didn't like the movie as much because of different changes. I didn't
Yeah.
really remember any significant changes because there had been so much time between the two
Yeah.
that I equally enjoyed both experiences.
Okay, I think, yeah, I'm sure it is both ways.
Yeah.
And I always tell the kids too, when the parents come in and they'll be looking for a specific book, and they are looking for that book because a movie just came out,
Yeah.
and they want to watch the movie as well. And my preference is I like to read it first and then see the movie, just because when I read a book, there's so much more detail in there.
Right.
And sometimes it can be disappointing when you watch the movie and it's hard to really get into the heads of the characters when you're just watching it on film.
Right.
You know, when you're reading it and they can just give you all this detail. And yeah, and of course they have, artistic, or what's the word I'm thinking of? Artistic
Leeway.
Yeah, where they can they get to choose what they want to do.
But on the flip side of that, though, there has been situations where I've seen maybe had to have time to read the book or wasn't maybe interested to read the book, but I saw the movie for whatever reason and really enjoyed the movie, and then was like, you know what, I think I will read the book now. Like, so I have done both.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, like
yeah,
I
that's a good
it
example.
piqued my interest. So that's happened too.
Yeah.
But more often than not, I do usually like to read the book first.
Cool. Yeah, I like it. Good controversial
Yeah.
topic, but
Regardless,
not really controversial.
Always
regardless.
read the book. Whether you see the
Come
movie
to the
first
library.
or not, always read the book too.
Yep. All right, speaking of books, the Tween Book Club, what we are reading now for Monday, February 22nd, and that's usually it is right after school, 4 o'clock to 4:45, and the tweens are usually 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and they walk down from McMurray, and they come in all prepared to mostly eat a snack. There are snack eaters. We always make sure we have something for them because we know after a long day at school and by that time they just need a little pick-me-up. So we always have something. But this month we are reading A Duet for Home by Karina Jan Glaser. And some of the reads that we've been doing lately have really been thought-provoking in such a good way that it should open up their minds to just everything around you and, difficulties and what people are going through, and that it isn't always what it seems. Like looking at, you look at somebody and think, wow, what a life. And then you read and go, not really.
Yeah.
Because you find out more. So this was, at first, June can't believe it. Their new home is a homeless shelter. When she's cold, she can't bring her cherished Viola inside. She's convinced the worst luck in the world landed her at Huey House. But Tyrell has lived at Huey House for 3 years, and he knows all the good things about it. Friendship, hot meals, and the music from next door drifting through the windows. With his help, June begins to see things differently, just as she's starting to understand how Huey House can be a home. A new government policy threatens all the residents. Can June and Tyrell work together to find a way to save Huey House as they know it?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, it is.
Kid.
It
Yeah.
is. But
Should be a good discussion.
definitely good discussion, because you know what? And what a time of year to be reading something like this when you think of, in the winter, homeless, homeless without any kind of warmth or blankets or shoes or socks or somewhere to be safe out of the elements.
Yeah.
So, yep, good one.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Well, that brings us into our books. Which,
let's do books.
Actually, I have a good one that's about talking about things not being what you see or whatever.
okay.
So this is, I listened to this book through Hoopla, which is a free app from the library. Linda and I both are big audiobook fans and constantly have an audiobook going all the time. So this is one I just listened to myself. It's called Where You See Yourself. And I know we're still in the beginning of the year. I have read or listened to several books so far. This is for sure my first 5-star of the year.
Okay.
Like, I loved everything about this book. It's
That's
by
so
Claire
cool.
Forrest. So it is, and you can see in the cover's real cool. So you can see the girl, she's in her wheelchair and she's looking in this big mirror, and that's her picturing herself on a college campus. So our main character here, Effie, she is a high school senior, and she is going through all the stuff that high school seniors go to. She's trying to find a date to the prom. She's trying to figure out what college she wants to go to. But she is wheelchair bound. She has cerebral palsy, and she, has to be in her chair at all times. So she realizes that, and you as the reader, for me, it was very eye-opening. Like, she goes to the tour of these college campuses, and her dream school was a particular school in New York because they had a great program for what she wanted to study. It wasn't very accessible. Like, the most used path to get around campus was all gravel, and that's not very easy to go over gravel in her wheelchair.
Of course.
And as a senior, the benefits of being a senior at her school is the seniors are allowed to leave campus to go to lunch. And so her and her friends are all excited. They've been talking about it since they're freshmen. Oh, we're going to go to Chipotle one day. We're going to go to McDonald's one day. They're so excited to be able to, have that freedom. And the first day is that they're allowed to do this. The policy is they can only leave from a certain door of the building for security purposes, to be signed out with that staff member. And that door to of that building has no ramps. Like, there's only stairwells for her to go down. And she's like, well, why can't we live out of this door where I usually come in and out all the time? Like, and they're like, no, we can't, because of security purposes. We can't have you leave. And so she's kind of fighting with her school and the administration about all these different things. And she's part of student government, and they want to kind of leave a legacy on the school and like beautify the school, which most senior classes do some kind of project, right? So they're all tossing around these ideas, and she's like, no one's mentioning the fact that our schools is not accessible, and she wants to find a way to really help students going forward on that. And she also, kind of reaches out to these colleges, and she was like, listen, I love your programs, but your school's not accessible. Like, the one school was like, we have modified dorms rooms and stuff, but you'll be in a single. And she's like, well, isn't part of being in college having a roommate? Why can't I have a roommate? And like, well, the handicap accessible rooms don't have double, occupancy. So all these different things. So it was still thought-provoking, and it sounds sad, but it wasn't. Like, it was more like she was very like girl power and very strong. And I loved her character. I loved her friends. It was like I said, it was my first 5-star of the year. So Where You See Yourself, loved this book. And it is a teen book. It is a clean teen book. So I would recommend this. Even though it's about a high school senior, it is definitely appropriate for even our younger teens to read.
Oh, good. That's very cool. Yes. Sounds good.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got this theme going on, from my tween book club. The books that I picked for February are teaching compassion and kindness.
Okay.
That's perfect. I just went with a theme because I thought, this is a month to show. Well, shouldn't be just for a month, but at least be conscientious of being compassionate and kind. So my first book is El Defo.
I love El Defo.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites.
Yes. It's a graphic novel by C.C. Bell, and it's a novel about growing up deaf and finding true friendship. C.C. became severely deaf after contracting meningitis. Wow. So, when people say about, get your meningitis shots, especially when you're going off to college. When she was 4 years old, and in order to understand others, Cece reads lips and wears a large hearing aid. When Cece enters first grade at a new school, wearing her hearing aid makes her feel different from everyone else. Even though Cece experiences feelings of loneliness and embarrassment while navigating elementary school life, she presses on in search of a real friend. As the story unfolds, Cece finds the courage to be herself and comes to understanding the true meaning of friendship. It is, you could see how worn this copy is. It really, really is a good story.
And I believe the author is a deaf author. Yes. And she wrote it kind of based on her experiences, which I forgot to mention that with the book that I talked about. So the author of this book actually has cerebral palsy, and so the book is very familiar to the life that she lived as a teen. So that kind of gives it more of a personal feel when you read it, I believe, in my opinion. Definitely. I like when authors do that and they feel that they have something to teach.
and
Yeah.
something for the kids to learn about. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up. It was from her experience.
Yes.
El Defo.
I love El Defo. That's a good choice.
Yep.
Well, this one that I have, I was just kind of browsing because I was going to go with a Valentine's Day theme after that, but this one is not. This is a book about friendship, and I literally was walking past and I saw the title and I loved it. The title's called I Hate Everyone But You.
I love it.
And it is told entirely through emails and text messages between these two best friends, and they just both started college, different colleges, different sides of the country, and they are communicating back and forth about their experiences, and it's not starting off very well for at least one of them, and that's why it's called I Hate Everyone But You. And in their experiences, they're trying to navigate. You know, you're in high school, and a lot of times in high school, you know, you're friends with the same people you've known since kindergarten, and you know, you're friends based upon location because you've always been together. And then you go to college, and you have to really start completely fresh, and that can be very scary. And so this is kind of about their experiences back and forth. It's funny, it's cute. Yes, so this is written. It's written by two authors, Gabby Dunn and Allison Raskin, and I believe one writes each voice. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds cute. Very nice.
Yeah.
And it's Valentine-ish colors.
Right, and I don't know. I love the title. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
All right.
Very good. Let's see if we can squeeze in one more. This one by Gordon Corman, which I love. It's called Restart. Again, remember that these are based on compassion and kindness. And it's, have you ever wanted to rewind the day and start anew? I think that was you today with the wrong shirt. That's exactly what happens to Chase Ambrose in Restart. Before falling off the roof of his home, he was an arrogant football star and unrelenting school bully. The trauma to his head caused Chase to suffer from amnesia, erasing all memory of his unfriendly past.
Oh.
I know. Although Chase forgot everything, see, this would be tough. Although Chase forgot everything, his classmates haven't. Relationships are tested and things get interesting when Chase attempts to restart his life.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That is like such a cool twist. Mm-hmm. You know, like you're the mean one. You get amnesia. You don't remember being mean and awful.
Right.
And but your friends do.
Add that to my list. It sounds like a good one.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. That you'd have to I guess reteach them, or the students have to relearn
Right.
as well.
Yeah, like do you really get a second chance?
Exactly. You big bully.
You big bully.
Leave me alone. All right, so that was the first half of February. We'll see you next time
Have a
for
good one.
round 2. Peace.